Welcome back to my channel, that is Chemistry by Eric Bandari and supported by I Am Human. Actually, we are talking about chapter number 1, that is the chemical reaction and equation. So, since we seen that how we can balance the chemical equations, right, and how we can write chemical equation, that also we seen in the past lectures, but today we are going to talk about the types of chemical reaction. So let us go. So there are many types of chemical reaction is there. The first one is a combination reaction, second one is decomposition reaction, third one is a displacement reaction, fourth one is a double displacement reaction, fifth one is a oxidation reaction, and sixth one is a reduction reaction, and last one, that is redox reaction. So let's go with the example. The first one is the combination reaction. The combination means we can say that when the two or more substance or element or any compounds each combines together and form a single product, that is known as a combination reaction. So we can say that, as in your textbook given example is a calcium oxide is react with water and it produce calcium hydroxides. Second one is you can generally use carbon is react with oxygen, it produce CO2, right. The formation of water, it is also example of a combination reaction. We can say hydrogen plus oxygen, it converts into H2O. If we want to balance, then right here 2 and 2. So the valence equation is, so we can say when the two or more reactants combine together and form a single product, right, that is known as a combination reaction. So the second is decomposition reaction. So example of decomposition reaction is that when the FeSO4 is convert into Fe2O3, that is ferric oxide plus SO2 plus SO3. So from this equation we can say that when the reactants is decomposed into two or more product, then that is known as a decomposition reaction. And the decomposition reaction is carried out by heat, by sunlight, and by simply passing electricity. So the subtypes of the decomposition reaction is the thermal reaction, which is carried out by the heat, the photolytic reaction, which is carried out by the presence of sunlight, and the third is a electrolytic. That means which decomposition reaction is carried out through the electricity, right. Let us take example of thermal reaction. When the calcium carbonate is convert into calcium oxide plus CO2 in the presence of heat, this is the example of thermal reaction, right. The sunlight, that means photolytic reaction, when the silver chloride is decomposed into silver and chloride, then this reaction is carried out in the presence of sunlight, right. And electricity, right, when the decomposition of water is simply passing through the electricity, so that's why it convert into H2 plus O2, right. So this reaction is known as a electrolytic reaction, and this is the most important question which is frequently asked in exams. Okay, let's move forward the next type of reaction, that is the displacement reaction. So in displacement reaction, actually what will happen, we know that any neutral compound has two charge, right, the negative positive charge also and negative, that means cation is there and anion is there, right. So actually what will happen in a displacement reaction, one anion is displaced through the another cation. So right, let us take an example. In your textbook, the given example is the iron nail is dipped in the CuSO4 solution. The iron nail is dipped in the CuSO4 solution. So after some time you will observe that the blue color of CuSO4 solution that will disappear. So that means the SO4, the SO4 ion which is present in CuSO4, so SO4 will displace on the nail. So that's why the negative charge, due to the displacement of SO4 to the Fe, it will get disappear blue color and it contain greenish like color. So we can say SO4 is displaced. So let us take its equation. As I told you that when the Fe is dipped, iron is dipped in the SuSO4 solution, what will happen? This SO4 is displaced towards the Fe. So we get FeSO4 and Cu. That means the SO4 is displaced from the Cu and goes to the Fe. So that's why this reaction is known as a displacement reaction. The fourth one is the double displacement reaction. What will happen here? Now you tell me. Displacement reaction. So in this reaction, actually what will happen here is only one anion is displaced here. So in this reaction, double, that means two anion is displaced with the another cation. So let us take example, sodium sulfate plus BaCl2 barium chloride. So what will happen here is a SO4 is a negative charge, Cl2 has a negative charge. So both anion will displace on each other cation. So what will happen? NaCl plus BaSO4. Here is a twice Na, so we can write here 2. So Cl is 2, so equation is balanced. But here the white precipitates is obtained during this reaction. So this reaction is also known as a precipitation रिएक्शन. सो अगर आपको एग्जाम में पूछा जाए व्हाट डू यू मीन बाय प्रेसिपिटेशन रिएक्शन, तो आपको समझ में आना चाहिए द डबल डिस्प्लेसमेंट रिएक्शन इज अ known as also precipitation reaction. The fifth one is oxidation reaction. Oxidation reaction. So oxidation reaction in which the oxygen is added. Oxygen is added, hydrogen is removed. So we can say that the reaction in which the oxygen is added and the hydrogen is removed from the reaction, that reaction is known as a oxidation reaction. So let us take example. If we take copper with oxygen, we get twice CO. That means the CO is oxidized, right? This one is a reduction reaction. So in reduction reaction, what will happen? The hydrogen is added and oxygen is removed. So this reaction is known as a reduction reaction. So the last one is the redox reaction. So redox reaction in which the oxidation and reduction is carried out simultaneously. So in this reaction, from this example, we can say that the copper oxide and hydrogen is react each other, and the oxygen is displaced to the hydrogen. That means from this copper, so copper is losses oxygen. So as we know the definition of oxidation and reduction, and hydrogen is oxidized. So we can say oxygen is added to the hydrogen, the oxygen is removed from the compound, that is also known as a reduction reaction. So here this is the reduction and this is oxidation. So we can say that the copper is get reduced and hydrogen is get oxidized. So these two reaction is this reaction is known as a redox reaction. Let us take another example, that is zinc oxide plus carbon. So here zinc plus carbon monoxide. So we can say carbon is a oxidized and the zinc is get reduced. So these are the known as the redox reaction. So moving towards the last topic of this chapter, that is the corrosion and rancidity. So as you know that the iron particles are shiny when they are new, but if we lapse for some time, it get coated with the reddish brown powder. So we can easily say that it is known as a rusting of an iron. So when the metal or iron is also one kind of metal, so when the metal is attacked by substance like acid and oxygen, etc., right? So it is said to be a corrosive, or else this process is known as a corrosion. So to corrosion we require two main substance. The first one is a moisture contained in atmosphere and oxygen. So when you put iron in the open space, so from the atmosphere it absorbs some moisture content, and also oxygen is attacked on iron, so it's convert into iron oxide. So we can say that is the rusting of an iron, and this process is known as a corrosion. The last topic is a rancidity. So have you ever tasted the smelt or a fat oil containing food material left for a long time? So क्या होता है ज़्यादातर कि अगर कुछ फैटी एसिड टाइप और ऑयली सब्सटेंस को हम ज़्यादा टाइम के लिए हम उसे छोड़ दें तो उसकी स्मेल कैसे आएगी? So it gets bad smell, right? So when the fats and oils are oxidized, that means the oils and fat which is present in the food, so they became rancid. That means the acidity is increased. When you lapse some time, after a long time, it get increasing in acid. So what will happen? The substances get oxidized, and due to that the substance is produce bad smell. That means we can say the food is rancid, and this process is known as a rancidity, right? So this is the corrosion and rancidity. What are the prevention of corrosion and rancidity? So for the prevention of corrosion, usually we do the painting, right? So or else we can say the galvanization, right? So these are the process, or else greasing, so to break the contact of with oxygen, right? So this is the prevention of corrosion. What is the prevention of rancid food? So usually we know that we are packing with the nitrogen gas, right? So the food is a flushed with the nitrogen gas, so it cannot oxidize for a long time. So these are the prevention of rancidity. Here the chapter number 1 is finished. If you have any doubts and query related to this chapter, the chemical reaction and equation, it is very easy, and the balancing chemical equation, that is very easy. If you want to practice more and more, then WhatsApp me. I will send you more chemical equation for your practice, and also visit my playlist. So playlist में आपको बाकी सारे chapters के related video भी मिलते रहेंगे. So subscribe my channel and stay tuned for the next video. Thank you.